Hi everyone, and welcome back to Art with Mrs. S. Today we're going to be practicing some painting techniques. So when we're practicing today, you're going to need a set of watercolors. Here's mine. Yours might look a little different. And then you're also going to want a paintbrush, a water cup, and possibly tray. And also probably a thicker white piece of paper. I'm just using regular construction paper. If you have cardstock at home, that would be great too. I also have a nice piece of paper underneath my art so that when I'm painting, if I get any on the surface I'm painting on, it kind of stops all that mess and it's easier for cleanup. We're going to go ahead and get started today. You'll notice that I'm using a little nicer brush than what comes with my set, but the one in your set should be fine too. To use these, I always say wet your brush first. I always keep my water cup in my tray, and I'm just going to swirl my brush around and get it really gooey. You can start out with whatever color you'd like. I'm going to be using kind of some fall or more Halloween colors today, so you'll see me using orange, you'll see me using purple, and then I also have black. So out of those, I'm looking, orange is my lightest, so it's going to be easiest to clean that out. We're not squishing hard, I'm just picking up a little of that paint so it glides across. And now I'm going to be creating different styles of lines, make a nice curvy. You'll notice that it starts out darker and goes lighter because I'm losing some of that paint as I go along. So if I'm going to change colors, I could switch and clean out my brush, but I'm just going to dip it a little in water and pick up some more orange. And I'm going to do that same line again. I can change how I'm holding my brush. If I hold it more straight up and down, I'm going to get a nice thin line. Now I have two curvies. I'm going to switch colors now. I'm going to clean out my brush really good, kind of swirl it around, and I'd always slide on the edge. I don't hit my brush. And I'm going to move on to purple next. Purple's a little lighter than black, but it can still make your other colors kind of muddy or brown, especially if you're not cleaning it out very good. I'm going to do a straight horizontal side to side line. I'm going to dip my brush in a little more water. Almost every time I get more color, I need to get more water. It's watercolor. That's how it works. That's how it glides across the paper. I'm going to do a couple of those horizontal lines all the way across. I may even add some of those up at the top of those curvies. You can change up your design. You don't have to copy mine today. All the way across. Very, very light. If I wanted to fill in a space, I might need to pick up more of that paint. Still not pressing hard, but I might have to dip it more often. Watercolor is not super bright. If I wanted really bright colors, I'd be using tempera or washable paint, and then I'd get those more vibrant colors. So I shouldn't be squashing my brush in here. I just cleaned my brush out again. I'm done with my purple for now, and I'm moving on to black. Now with black, if you want to try something new, maybe you want to make a shape, I could make a couple circles. I could go in and do a swirl, that's loop-de-loo. I can color in a shape. I'm kind of creating a nice pattern all the way across. So I went circle, swirl, circle, back to a swirl. Could do another circle. Go back and do a swirl, a circle. I might have room for one more swirl. So I'm practicing how I'm holding the brush, how hard I need to push into my paints, how I'm changing a line from thick to thin. I'm going to bounce back down towards the bottom here. You'll notice this paint dries very quickly. I'm going to continue that same pattern, filling in a circle, doing a swirl, filling in a circle, doing a swirl. If you want to change it, we've done lots of practice now. We did practice with our markers, we've practiced with crayons and oil pastels. You can do different shapes, you can do numbers, we did letters. Maybe you want to come through and add a very particular shape. Some of us have more practice with art, so sometimes we can be a little more creative. If I want to come back in and add something with a little more detail, I can come in and kind of do these blobs, they look like. Kind of evenly spacing those out. Cleaning out my brush every time I get a new color. You'll notice if you do a wet color on a wet color, it's going to kind of smoosh together a little bit. So I'm putting just a little black on here. If you want to wait for an area to dry and go back to it, you can too. I kind of have those little pumpkin blobs going on. And there is my practice with watercolor. If you don't want to do the lines of the pattern, you can change it up. You can make a different shape or a different form. But you should still be practicing with a paintbrush. If you don't have watercolors, you could find something else around the house. When you're done, don't forget to take a picture of your art or you with your art and post to Padlet with your first, last name, and classroom teacher. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you had a good time.